I miss it so much. In fact, I'm pumped right now just seeing myself on video just doing this. So we go on this little walk in Rockaway Beach. I don't know if anyone is familiar with Pacifica, but Rockaway Beach is pretty majestic with rocks along the beach. Hence Rockaway Beach. And oh my God, I saw something that I had never seen before, and maybe I have, and I just didn't pay attention. But there's these beautiful, beautiful animals called ground squirrels. Okay, and they don't look like, I don't know what is going on with this piece of my hair. It needs to work. So they're these beautiful squirrels. Their tails are not as fluffy, and they're just different in the face, and the energy's different. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like when I communicate with them and I feel them, it's just different. It's like they really are of Earth. And going back to horoscopes, my sweet Sean, horoscopes, each sign has an element that is associated with that sign, okay? So I was thinking to myself, most of these squirrels have got to be either a Taurus or a Capricorn or a Virgo, because it's all very earthy. And I'm thinking to myself, if this ground squirrel is a Virgo, this poor thing, because Virgos are so respectfully anal when it comes to detail. Like, they have to have everything in order. So if you think about their home, it's probably got to be like spotless with dirt. It's got to be packed right. They've got to like make sure when they go out to visit people that are walking around and trying to like be tourists, that they have to be like right on. They have to behave well. That they are Virgos and they are proud of what they do and who they are. God damn, they are Virgos. That's right, they are. And then you have a Capricorn. You have a Capricorn ground squirrel. And this Capricorn ground squirrel, oh my God, this thing is all about work. It's all about work. It has got to make sure that it is top dog in organizing, making a home, getting food for the family. They are a provider, and they have to make sure that they are going to work at that and make everything happen. That's what they're going to do. And so then I watched this one squirrel. Ready? This one squirrel, I know he was a Capricorn. He was holding on to this piece of food like this, but he was blissed out. I'll take my glasses off because I want you to see, although I can't see you, but you have to see this, because this little squirrel was like, you know, and I was like, oh my God, is that squirrel actually breathing heavy? Because I think that squirrel is breathing heavy because it is so in tune to the fact that it's enjoying this food particle. And I don't even know what this is. It's not a nut. It's definitely not a nut. I think it has something to do with like leftovers from the seafood restaurants that are around. And this little squirrel was so blissed out. And then I was blissed out. I was blissed out with this sweet Capricorn ground squirrel that I'm just learning about ground squirrels. And I was just blown away. I was absolutely blown away. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so now I think it's time to find the Taurus. It's time to find like the Taurus ground squirrel. And what does that mean? Okay? What does that mean? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm not joking. I found the Taurus ground squirrel. This little sweet thing, I think it was a boy. I do think it was a boy, but it could have been a girl. I don't know yet because it was too young, right? But it was rubbing like shoulder, like rubbing against the dirt, like rolling around, like, oh my God, everything is so fucking great. I love the feeling of the dirt on my back. I need a massage. Touch me. Oh my God, life is great. Oh, I might be too young for all of this. She says, it says she. It came to me. But I don't know, this feels so good. And I'm like, girl, You are so in touch with the depth of how great sensuality is. And people think you're just a ground squirrel. You're not just a ground squirrel. You're pretty in touch. So, we were walking out of this. I'm having this whole spiritual awakening, right? And this one stops. And I stop. And it stands up. And I'm already standing. And I look at this squirrel, and he looks at me, and I'm like, sweetie, you're so adorable. He's like, I'm like, is there something that I can do? Is there some way I can help? Because this is really all about the world. It's all about nature. It's all about animals right now. Like, I, as a human being, mark my words, I would die for the earth. And I'm looking at the squirrel, and that's what's happening. I'm looking at the squirrel saying, I would die for you, little squirrel. I would. And we're having this moment. And he's doing this. And I'm just standing there going like this. And he's getting closer and closer to my right leg. I'll never forget this the whole life of mine. And he's getting closer and closer to me. And he's like, okay. And
you were scared.
I was scared. I actually started getting nervous. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? This ground squirrel is going to make flight, and it's going to jump on my leg, and it's going to bite me. I'm going to have to go to the emergency because I don't want to get rabies. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been shelter in place. I've been diligent about a mask and gloves. I have lived with alcohol, whether it be consuming it or having it be rubbing. And now I'm going to wind up in the emergency because I had this squirrel who was so magical and majestic and speaking to me from the earth, the core of the earth. I had this squirrel that was going to give me rabies. And I wouldn't have had sex with the squirrel because I'm not going to have sex with a squirrel and have rabies. Like, that doesn't feel right. Like, as much as we're both like, what's it, content? Like, or content? I don't know what the word is. It doesn't matter what the word is. Anyway, I got startled.
You jumped.
I jumped, and then he stayed the same. He didn't even move. And then I realized that I was maybe being ridiculous, and that I think from this moment on, the joke that says, oh, squirrel, where? It's always going to resonate with me. So thank you for listening to my Astrology of Squirrels 2020. I'm Nikki Addis. Thank you.